There's a real good frame with how many queens on this one?
One here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the 628 Dirt Rooster channel, where hobby beekeeping is a way of life. This video is going to be basically about what we did Sunday. This past Sunday, my dad got a call from a lady who is a friend of a friend. She's a one-year beekeeper, and she's got one hive that swarmed on her Sunday, and thankfully she was able to. That's my grandson there out here helping me. And, what, man?
Is that Papa's house over there?
Yeah, that's Papa's house. So for all you safety Sallies, he will be in the truck while I'm fooling with the bees. But anyhow, Sunday this lady calls us. Her hive swarmed. She caught the swarm, rehomed them in a new box, and didn't know what to do beyond that. She went through her hive and saw the queen cells and the drone brood and didn't know what that meant, and kind of wanted somebody that knew what they were doing to come out and look at it and give her their opinion. So she may have called the wrong people, but she called us. So we did go out and take a look at it, and she was gracious enough to trade swarm cells for our time. So we, as cold as it's been lately, nobody's been grafting queens until late, so we haven't had queens available to us, and we didn't start grafting until yesterday, day before yesterday. So we've had boxes busting at the seams, and we've even had one swarmed I found the other day that no telling where they went. We didn't get them. So we got a bunch of queen cells, left her with a good setup, and I don't know how great the video will be. It's one-handed working and videoing at the same time, and maybe it'll be halfway interesting to you. But part of the reason I'm showing this is I've had people, a couple of the most common questions about beekeeping when people want to show an interest in getting into beekeeping. One of them, the biggest one, is I want to make my own honey, and how hard is it and what does it cost? Well, if that's all you're in it for, I'll tell you, it is cheaper just to go buy honey. This is a hobby, and as most people know, hobbies cost money. Most people don't eat a whole lot of honey, so unless you're just eating loads and loads of honey, you're definitely going to be better off to go buy. But another question I get asked is there any money to be made as a hobbyist in beekeeping? And most beekeepers will tell you not really, but I kind of lean the other direction. I say there's multiple streams to be made, and it's not big money, but it's extra money on the side if you need extra income. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. And one of the things that I haven't been doing, but my dad has been doing, is selling nukes. And Sunday we made 6 splits, and that's 6 nukes that we made Sunday that will sell for $125 a piece, just for the bees, not including any of the materials. So I'll tell you about that real quick. So a lot of you know already, but for those who don't, this is a nuke box. And if you were buying bees, typically when you go to a bee yard, this is what you're going to find your new colonies in that you're buying. These are half-size boxes. Those are full-size deeps. This is basically a half-size deep, or what they call a nuke. They both take the same frames. This just takes 5 frames, as where those take 10. So typically what you're going to get for $125 is about an average rate. You'll get a bred laying queen, some brood, and a good size group of workers. So you'll either show up with your brand new 5 frames to trade to the beekeeper in exchange for his that already have brood laid on them and pollen and a little bit of honey. You'll give him your new frames, and he'll transfer his established colony into your box, into your full-size box. Or if you don't have anything, he'll sell you a nuke box, or he'll sell you a full-size box. Just depends on how his operation is set up and what your needs are. But the deal with that, and the reason I'm going over that, is is that's a good form of income for anyone who is in it on a hobby level. Chuck, a good friend of mine, has, I think he's up to 7 hives now, and he's just second year beekeeping, so he's about maxed out on what he wants on his yard. And I just got off the phone with him today, walking him through some splits, and I'm probably going over to his place to take a look at it tomorrow to see what he's done. He was having a hard time finding his queens, so I think he made 2 splits today. So as a hobbyist beekeeper, he doesn't want he didn't want a whole yard full of bees, and they're really, if you're not in beekeeping, they're kind of hard to come by, and they're not free. They're not even cheap, actually. So that's $250 worth of splits he made today on his second year, and he started with a 1 hive last year. I think he bought 3 more, I don't know, but he made a couple of splits last year. So Sunday we made 6 splits. That's $750 in bees, and of course there's a upfront initial investment there in the boxes and the frames and all that kind of thing, but that's just one additional form of income that you can pull as a hobbyist beekeeper. And there's many more, and I'll probably go over them eventually. I'm sure I'll hit on them eventually, but that's just another one. So here's some video from Sunday that is kind of one-hand video, and it may not be that great, but hopefully you find it interesting. Here we go.
No, still got a cell in it.
No, that's a good larva.
Okay. There's 1, 2,
Let's get this
3, 4.
plug here. We're robbing from Peter.
Take the drone with you.
Robbing from Peter to pay Paul. We're stealing queen cells out of this hive.
Good. I don't see any small hive beetles like she had the last time, which is good. Turn it around.
Nah, I'm gonna pry the whole plug up.
Okay.
There went. Did that pull the queen out?
No. No, she's still sealed up. Set that in that chair.
All right, we've ruined.
Let's get this.
I've ruined 2 cells just because it's kind of tough to cut them out of a frame of foundation without damaging them. So we have a little artist tool spatula thing, a little thinner blade we're going to try it with. looks like a feeler gauge. Alright, so there's the idea. Slice them off from the frame. That white exposed right there on the left is a little bit of royal jelly. This here is a drone larva that you can see sticking out here. But the queen cell still in good shape, still intact. And we can make another split using just this cell. We're in the middle of a queen cell robbery right here.
Have any with any honey on them?
No, the only other ones we had on that fence, but Kelly wasn't sure if they were any good or rather leave them
Honey or anything? The one she had honey on, are those the ones in the box? Okay.
Those would have been robbed out by now.
Yeah, if it's laying outside for any time, there won't be any honey in it because the bees will steal it.
There they are. Disturbed in the head.
Better break it up and make another hive out of it.
Yeah, there is.
That one.
With, what did we leave, 5 or 6 queen cells in there?
Yeah.
So we took 9 total queen cells and left them with about 6 or 7. I don't know exactly how many, but we left them enough to have a viable hive. So this is one that I split last weekend, and it was busy enough to split again, but I just didn't have queen cells. So now that we do, we're splitting this one and some others. This box here that I split up last weekend, I just went through it real quick. And I did find eggs, and I did hear the queen piping again. But they're so thick, I put them in this box so thick when I split it that they're ready to split again. And there's a bunch of drone brood and a few queen cells in there since I put them in there last weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and make another split. Woo! Tailgate broke. Not really. We got 4 nukes so far worth of bees. Right there. These 3 here. Off of those queen cells we took. And we also had a hive here on the lot that was about to swarm, and it had a few queen cells in it. So we doubled up queen cells in all of these. We still got 2 cells left. Yeah, 2 cells left. And so we'll make 2 more nukes. This is Expert Queen Cell Installation 101.
Small hive beetle grabbing 102.
This is ADD got sidetracked on chasing a beetle instead of installing a queen cell.
And I got both of them. You press the cell to make an indentation and lightly press the queen cell in there, and they'll molder in if you get that one off of it.
As long as you don't mash a bee in there behind them.
Just lightly press them in there and gently set it down in the box with some more bees behind it. There's none in here.
Yeah, I gotta shake some in there.
We need to put another frame in front of this one.
I just started. I did go through this box and find the queen, and we marked her with the bright green 2014 color, so it should be easy to spot next time. And so I split that one up and got a strong nuke, and then that box is still strong enough. I'm going to fill it back up with frames and just let them work that whole box. So that was a really good afternoon. It wasn't really a whole afternoon. It's 5:30 as I'm filming this. We didn't leave the house to go to this lady's house until 2:30. So we went up there, checked out her bees, harvested 9 queen cells, got back here, fiddle-farted around looking for some eggs to graft tomorrow, marked a queen, smashed some beetles, did some other stuff, and then made $750 worth of bees, which people have been calling for weeks already, in just a few hours. So it sounds simple, but it's not really the goose that laid the golden egg. Well, I guess it is kind of, but you got to take everything else into consideration. You got to feed the goose and groom it and make sure the pen's clean and make sure it's free of disease. Make sure the foxes don't get to it. Not, you know, it's not as simple as it sounds, but it's not extremely labor intensive either. It just takes a little while to develop your skills when dealing with them and knowing what to look for when there's problems and things. So it's fun, and it's as a hobbyist, it's a little bit of an income there, not much, but something's better than nothing, and it's fun to do. So there's that.